Chipotle is out with an earnings beat as its higher income clientele was able to absorb higher prices for burritos and burrito bowls. The company did warn on two fronts: store traffic and spending trends among lower income consumers. Chipotle CFO Jack Hartung joins us now to discuss. Jack, always nice to see you. On the conference call last night, I thought you guys were defending the price increases that you've pushed through, noting the big portion sizes and what you do in terms of cutting ingredients. Do you think, or are you just concerned about some of the price points on some of the products now?
No, Brian, we watch this very, very closely. And, when we've raised prices over the last couple of years, and let's face it, it's been a high inflationary period. It's been the highest inflation I've seen in my entire career. When we take prices, we've looked at a number of things. We look at what our competitors are charging. We look at, what happened the last time we took a price increase, and are we seeing any evidence that customers are either trading down or if they're reducing their transactions. And everything we see looks good. I know this is an environment where we have macro challenges. We talked about on the call that we do have some of our lower income consumers, are paring back on their dining out experiences, including at Chipotle. But our, higher income customers are actually coming more often. So we're not seeing any kind of change in their behavior based on any of the pricing action that we've taken over the last year and a half.
Jack, you know me. I go to Chipotle all the time, but are you concerned that a portion of the U.S. is just getting shut out of that really good Chipotle experience, and that now maybe you need to touch that third rail and do a value meal, or maybe cut the bowl in half and do a $5 bowl to get consumers in?
Yeah, Brian, we had this exact discussion the last time during the Great Recession, where we saw consumers did start to, reduce their dining experiences. And with Chipotle, during that time, even though our comps held up better than every other restaurant company, we stayed positive throughout that entire time. Our transactions were actually slightly negative. So we did see some transactions actually dip. As the recession was starting to end, our transactions came roaring back, and we had double-digit comps from there. So we've seen this before. And during that time, we did talk about, should we offer value meals? Should we offer a bundled meal where the consumers can eat for, at the time it was less than $5. Our customers said, great idea, go ahead and do it. And then when we tested it in restaurants, nobody bought it because everyone said, well, I love my chicken burrito, so I'm coming for my chicken burrito or my steak burrito. So we don't think Chipotle is the brand that somebody's looking for a dollar menu or a bundled meal. They come to look for customization, real culinary, and they crave the food. That most customers get the same exact entree every single time, and that's what they crave. And so, and when we look at our chicken burrito, which is what more than half of our customers get compared to competitors, we're under $9 for our chicken burrito. And when you get a chicken entree at other fast casuals, you can't find any for under $10. And typically it's in that $11 to $13 range. So we still think we're a great value.
Jack, what about the people that come to Chipotle for lunch particularly? And when it relates to that traffic, how you're looking through where some of the office occupancy that still isn't at pre-pandemic levels and is still, in some cases, data from Castle suggesting it's lower than 50% of that pre-pandemic level and really only expected to tick up sometime in 2023. What would you be tracking with regard to the relation of return to work or return to office and how that plays out for Chipotle going into next year?
Yeah, when we look at our urban restaurants, and the urban restaurants are a relative minority of our entire portfolio of over 3,000 restaurants. So we've got somewhere in the 100 to 150 restaurants that are true urban. When we look at that cohort compared to all of the restaurants, they've been out comping the rest of the system for the last year or year and a half or so. And that makes sense based on people are returning to the office. Now, it's not all the way back, but I would say it's within kind of 10 or 15% in terms of where the urban restaurants are compared to non-urban. So it's not all the way back, but it's not like it's anywhere near, you mentioned the 50% occupancy. We're doing way better than that.
Hey, Jack, it's Julie here. So transactions down by about 1% last quarter. Do you have any sense of what that number could be this quarter? And I guess I'm trying to get a feel for where you think we are in the cycle. We're all grappling this morning, looking at big tech earnings, about how much worse things could get. From your perspective, how are you thinking about that question?
Yeah, we have a unique challenge in the fourth quarter because we introduced as a limited time offer brisket last year in the fourth quarter, and it was highly, highly successful. So we're comparing against that very, very difficult comparison. So contributing to the quarter is it's going to be a little bit more negative transactions. We think it's going to move from the 1% down that you mentioned in the third quarter to somewhere in the low to maybe the mid-single digit, transaction being down in the fourth quarter. But as we move away, brisket, we actually could only secure enough supply to run the promotion through the middle of November. That's how successful it was. Once we get past that, we think that the comparisons will get a little bit easier. But we do think from a macro standpoint that the lower end consumers are dining out less often. So we do think that that's going to be a challenge for not just Chipotle, but I think the restaurant industry for probably the next, few, if not several quarters.
Jack, I don't know if you can see it, but my Yahoo Finance team never ceases to amaze me. We have some of the photos. There I am right there. About a week ago in the Bayshore Chipotle, I got my usual order. That is all for me. 2 bowls right there. I ordered the same. I ordered the same thing last night. I went to pick it up. $48.23. Now I get double meat, and I understand. But do you think you could
see some guac on there, too?
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, and I get it. But do you think you could push through more price? I'm still shopping in there. I'm still going to Chipotle, but do you still have more room to push through more price increase in the fourth quarter next year, you think?
So I think we do, Brian. Listen, not many people eat like you do. I think it's a tribute to, I don't know if it's your exercise routine, but the fact that you can eat 2 bowls like that and you look as good as you do, I think it's
Appreciate
fantastic.
you. That's why we always have you on.
But listen, I do think we have room, but we don't have any plans right now to raise prices again. It depends on commodities. But what I do know is that when we look at competitors, others have raised prices too over the last couple of years. So the gap in terms of value for Chipotle compared to the others still exists. But right now, if commodities behave themselves, we don't have any plans to take any more price for a while.
Okay, and so in the near term then, because you've still got the affluent consumers or the people that are ordering double guac, double meat, like Brian, who are coming in, when you think about the ticket sizes that you're seeing, is there it is, zoomed in. Is there a material difference in ticket size, even among the outsized affluent consumer that you're seeing make up the majority of the revenues right now?
It's not huge. There is like a mid-single digit difference. It's a slight difference. Really, the difference is, and this is what tells us it's more about a macro. It's not that people are resisting. When we raise prices, it's 4% on a $8 or $9 burrito. It's 30, 40 cents. So we don't think that consumers are affected by that 30 or 40 cents. We think consumers are deciding, can I eat out at all? Or if I'm going to eat out, do I have to, maybe go down to another class, to traditional QSR, because it's just a different category for them.
Jack, good to see you. Chipotle CFO Jack Hartung talking us through the quarter and what's beyond. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.